Achieve success with global.media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with global.media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So good to see you all once again. It was always a privilege to show up Friday evening like this for you. It can be Friday morning or Friday afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from all over the world. I want to say a big thank you and welcome to the Positivity Lab Show, a show that is all about positivity, bringing the intentionality in the power of positivity. Because one thing we believe that in positivity, there's always possibilities in it. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, with the power of positivity, you can achieve anything you set your mind to do. For us, it's always a privilege. I'm very excited. I already have my co-host with me on stage today, and we are diving deeper into a very interesting conversation. A conversation we believe that you can resonate with, a conversation we believe that it affects each and every one of us. But we do not talk about it enough. So that's why today we are bringing that reminder, we are bringing that awareness, we are bringing that intentionality on how are you taking care of yourself. Yes, a very simple but powerful question that a lot of us do not tend to answer on a daily basis. But with our conversation today, we believe that we're going to bring the awareness, we're going to bring a consciousness to allow you to embrace the question how you are taking care of yourself. So for those who are joining us for the very first time, I want to say a big welcome. You can drop in your comment, let us know that you are here. Just say hi, say hello, and tell us where you are joining us from. We have people from all over the world who tune in during the live show or in replay. Tune in. Why? Because when they come in here, we share so much knowledge, we share so much wisdom, and we are all about community building. One thing we do about this in this community is we support each other. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, you deserve our love, you deserve our support, and you deserve our attention. So yes, we have already have Linda in the building. Linda is saying, hello everyone. And Linda is joining in from Canada. Yes, I think Canada, right. Linda, thank you so much. So good to have you. Yes, guys, if you're joining us live, keep dropping in the comment and tell us where you are joining us from. We're going to highlight you on the screen like this so that we can let the world know that you are here with us. It's all about amplifying each other. It's all about supporting each other. It's all about putting each and every one of us in the front of the world so that the world can know that we are here. All right, we have our friend Ibukun Ajo with us. Yes, said hello everyone. I think Ibukun is joining us all the way from Nigeria. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Guys, keep the comment coming. And if you're on LinkedIn, kindly do us a favor. You can share the post, repost it, share it, send it to somebody that needs to hear about it. Because taking care of ourselves is everybody's business. Taking care of ourselves shouldn't be, it should be something that we have to all be intentional about. You know, we all take care of our goals, take care of our vision, take care of our businesses, take care of our finances, but then we do not take that time to take care of ourselves. So today we are reminding you and send it to your friend that needs a reminder, your family member, your colleague, or your co-worker that needs a reminder of how they are taking good care of themselves. So if you don't know me, my name is already on the screen, Zion Inogio, Mr. Positive Energy. I'm a positivity coach and mentor. I help people embrace the power of positivity intentionally. You know, we live in a world where there's so many things going on, so many negativity, and in that, a lot of people can be so overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by work, overwhelmed by the economy, overwhelmed by finances, overwhelmed by relationship. You know, there are so many things that can overwhelm you. But then you have a choice to make in staying positive in the midst of people. So if you are struggling to stay positive, you are struggling to stay motivated, you are struggling to stay energized and remain consistent in doing what you are doing, do it to reach out to me. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. And also, if you want to host an event like this, yes, an event like this, you have a value to share, you want to impact people, and you want to host an event like this and own your voice on the stage, also do it to reach out to me. We can help you put that together and help you reach out to the world and make the impact that you want to make. You know what? Like I said earlier, I'm not alone. I have my team with me. I call them the best team in the world. These are people you can trust, you can rely on, you can depend on, and you can work with without having a second thought. This event has been going on for 3 years, and I tell you, this team has been consistent for 3 years, showing up every Friday. It's just so amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pass the mic to my co-hosts. Just join me to celebrate them because they are the best out there. They're the best you can work with. They're the best you can actually partner with. So they're going to introduce themselves and also tell us what they do and how they help you in achieving success in life. So let me go to Mr. Eni first. Mr. Eni, happy Friday. The mic is yours.
Hello, everyone. I see Joshua Lee's joined us as well. Welcome. I think you mentioned you welcomed Tassima already, right? Now, thank you so much, everyone. Look, I'm still Eni, and I get to live the dream. I get to do amazing things. And so I'm working with people to write their books as we speak. Write the books. Someone just asked me just now, can you publish my book by Tuesday? Yes, we can. We can publish your ebook or your print book. So we'll definitely publish her ebook by Tuesday. That's a lot of work, because there's a lot of checking going on that has to be involved. But we have to get started right now. So if I'm not publishing books, then I'm normally working on making my friends international #1 bestsellers on Amazon. So as I mentioned, we do help people do the events as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I spend my days. Oh no, there is an addition. That's my keynote speaking, which I've recently taken on as a mission to inspire people to achieve the potential. And that's pretty much how I spend my days, my friends. If I can help you, let's connect, let's talk. If you can help me, let's connect, let's talk. So I'll leave it there, my friends. Jamie, I give the mic to you, my friend. You tell us what you do. Yeah, I know you are the best now. So, recruiting. Well, not recruiting. The best career counselor there is. So, let's go for it, my friend.
Appreciate that, Eni, and good to hear you guys introduce yourselves. And if any, you're living the dream with helping people write books. I can say I'm living the dream and helping people be able to live their own dreams, right? And when it comes to getting back in the workforce and making the money that they deserve to make. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Jamie Edwards. I'm in the United States. I'm in Illinois, in the Midwest, about an hour outside of Chicago, the big city of Chicago. And what I do is I am a career coach or a guidance specialist, whatever you want to call me, right? But I do career coaching, and I help job seekers every day, and I help them with different aspects of their job search. So I help some people rewrite their resumes. I help some people with interview practice and making sure they're prepared to be able to answer certain questions during the interview process. And I help people with their LinkedIn profiles, with making them more visible and making their personal brand shine and stand out more, right? So I help people with all three of those things. I call it the triangle of job coaching or job searching, because that you need a good resume and a great LinkedIn profile to get an interview. You need to have the interview to get the job. You have to have the interview skills. So all three of those things go hand in hand. My company is called Jam Sessions with Jamie. I've been doing this now for a little bit over 3 years on my own. I've worked with about 700, almost 750 different job seekers now. I'm very hands-on with the way I coach people. I put a lot of effort and a lot of time into them. And my goal is ultimately to get them back out of that job market, which is, convoluted right now. And there's a lot of people who are out there looking for jobs, and help them separate themselves from the pack. And not have them be just another applicant, right? Making them stand out and shine so they can go ahead and get back to work and be able to afford and do the things that they want to do. So that's a little bit about what I do. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 3 years. I've gotten about 165, 170 recommendations on my LinkedIn page and, in climbing. And I take great pride in what I do. And this is a passion of mine, is helping people get to where they want to be and help them succeed. So that's a little bit about myself. We've got a great call today. As we mentioned, we're talking today about how do you take care of yourself, right? And we know that, I'll have Zion share his thoughts first on this, but we know when it comes to taking care of ourselves, sometimes we neglect ourselves. We get so busy with other things that we forget what's most important is that our health and how we take care of ourselves, right? And when we don't do that, it's okay to obviously focus on taking care of others and things, and we always want to help people out, but ultimately, we have to support ourselves first, right? Because that's who we are. We have one life. We have to take care of it, right? So we're going to talk a lot about this. We're going to share some thoughts, and we hope that you all will be able to raise your hands or come on stage. I say raise your hand, different type of call. Make sure you click on the link there, or copy and paste it into your URL browser and come on stage and join our call. Be a part of the conversation. There's no right or wrong answers. We just want to hear your thoughts, and we want you to share them on stage with the rest of us. So I'm going to pass it over to Zion so he can go ahead and kind of kick this off about how he's taking care of himself, and then we'll kind of go round robin, and then we'll get some people up here on stage. So Zion, back to you, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much, King Jimmy. Thank you so much, Amy. Now, it's so profound as they were introducing themselves. I had to look at the dynamics and the uniqueness of persons on stage. I'm joining in from Nigeria. Annie is joining from London, UK, and Jimmy is joining from the US. But here we are sitting on the same table just to be able to inspire you. And that's the power of the community we are building. We are building a global community. So it does not matter where you are from. It doesn't matter who you are. You are always welcome, to join us. You're always welcome to share. And like Jamie said earlier, the link is on stage already. And the reason why we are inviting you to share is because we know that what you have to share today has the power to inspire somebody. What you have to share today has the power to be a motivation to somebody. It has the power to be a catalyst for somebody, to kickstart their life. So you have something unique to say. You have a voice. Come on it. Come on it. And beyond just coming to share, you also introduce yourself and tell us what you do. It's a way to tell the world about your business. It's a way to tell the world about what you do. It's a way to introduce yourself. And don't be shy. If peradventure you cannot put on your camera, you can take up the camera and allow the audio. As long as we can hear your voice, we are good to go. So go to the comment section. The link is there. So do it to join us on stage and be part of the conversation. And now diving in deeper into the topic, how do I take care of myself? Now I have to personalize it. It's now me. How does Zion takes care of himself? Because it is personal. This question is personal. It's personal to me. It's personal to you. It's personal to everyone. It's because the way I take care of myself might not be the same way you take good care of yourself. So it's different. It dawned on me that at a point in my life, I was all about the business, the careers, the goals, the partnership and all these things going. Well, don't get me wrong, it's good. That's how you make the money. That's how you get to collaborate, work with people. But at the end of the day, I was so caught up in all these things and I forgot about me. Somebody said something earlier in the comment section. Said most people check on their goals, but they never check on themselves. I was in that category. I was in that class of persons who check on their goals, who check on their achievements, who check on the journey thus far. But at the end of the day, never really got time to check on myself. And I had to pay the price. I had to pay the price. At some point, I was falling sick now and then. I'm like, what's going on? And at the moment when I fall sick, I cannot do what I'm supposed to do anymore. At the moment where I get tired, sometimes I can easily flare up. I can easily get angry. What? At those moments, I cannot do what I needed to do. So it dawned on me, taking care of myself is paramount. Taking care of myself is important. One of my mentors said something. He said, as you are setting your vision board, also set your personal board, like your board, like your self-care should be part of your vision board. Self-care should be part of the goal. Self-care should be part of the vision. Self-care should be part of the journey, because we forget this most of the time, that we can look after our business, we can look after relationship, we can look after friends, we can look after work, but we don't look after ourselves. We always bring ourselves last. We are the last. We are the least in the scale of preferences, and which is not supposed to be so. If there's one thing I've learned on my journey, it's if you want to make an impact, if you want to make a difference, you want to be a voice. One thing that is very, very important is you can only do this when you are healthy. You can only do this when you are really strong. You can really give your best. You can really give the best of the version of yourself when you are in the right frame of mind, where you can take good care of yourself. So we shouldn't neglect it. So how do I take care of myself? For me, if there's one thing I've decided to do in taking good care of myself, is to be eating more cooked food. I used to be the junkie kind of a person. I used to be the junkie kind of a person. Eat cooked food, a well-prepared meal. And I tell you, from the moment I began to eat a well-prepared meal, the amount I fall sick reduced. I don't used to fall sick the way I used to. I'm more resistant to falling sick. I'm more energetic. Why? Because I've decided to say, you know what, I have to eat good food. I have to eat well. This is very, very important. A lot of us, because we are so busy, we don't have time to eat food. We can take junk, maybe mineral, ice cream, and all these things. We can do all that because, I'm too busy. Okay, let me just buy this. Let me buy donut. Let me buy meat pie. Let me buy egg roll. Let me buy pizza. They are sweet. They are good. But at the end of the day, in the long run, it's not good for the earth. It's not good. So that's why you have to. For me, I've decided to eat good food. And secondly, one thing I've decided to do in taking good care of myself is to go to the gym and work out. I used to be very lazy. This is something that I had difficult to do. I had to procrastinate. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, I'm busy doing XYZ. I'm like, okay, if I can't go today, let me go tomorrow. I kept procrastinating. But I told you, from the moment I began visiting the gym, working out, staying fit, it changed me as a whole. It changed my physical health, it changed my mental health, and it allowed me to truly express myself the way I want to. For those who go to the gym, when you are done, you can feel the rush of energy within you. My brain is always alert, my brain is always active. The dizziness I used to feel most of the time after work, I no longer feel it anymore. Why? Because I prioritize staying fit, physically fit, by going to the gym. And by going to the gym, what has it done for me? It helps me burn fat and sugar. It helps me burn fat and sugar. And for most of us, we can just be in a particular place without doing any much of exercises. The fat and the sugar begin to accumulate, they begin to amount. But as we began to go to the gym, one thing I learned is I burn fat quickly. I digest food much more faster because I go to the gym, I exercise my body, and I stay fit, which is very, very important. And the third point on how I'm staying, taking good care of myself is I avoid sugar. I used to be the person that takes a lot of beverages, like drinks, carbonated drinks. But if there's one thing I've done recently that has really helped me a lot, it's the ability for me to take water instead of carbonated drinks. I fall in love with water. I don't used to take water, like, okay, water does not have taste. So I need something that have taste, something that gives that flavor. But at the end of the day, in my journey of taking care of myself, I understood that water is more powerful. Water is more it gives more positive benefits, to our health, more than we can ever imagine. And in doing that, I had to take less sugar. So instead of taking sugar now, like adding sugar to my tea or coffee, what do? I have honey. I have 2 bottles of honey right now, at my table, which I take, replacing sugar. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she was sharing a journey about fibroid. That, fibroid. She had sharing. I can share this one because it's something she talks about. She inspires people about it as well. So I just want to inspire somebody out there with it too. So she had fibroid for 20 years plus, and she was supposed to go for surgery and all that. And so a doctor advised her, cut the amount of sugar you take and take more fruit or honey or water. She was like, okay, she agreed. And I tell you, today, she didn't have to go for surgery for the fibroid. From the moment she stopped taking sugar, the fibroid that used to increase inside began to decrease. And today, she's fibroid free by the grace of God, and she's living healthy. So there's somebody out there. Cutting away from sugar is very, very important. It's very good for your health, and it's very good for you. And lastly, I will end with this. In taking care of ourselves, there's also important that we are very careful about our social surrounding. So one thing I do in taking care of myself is that has been part of my journey is I'm careful about the people I surround myself with. That's why I avoid people that are very toxic. We live in a world, we live in a time where people can easily get toxic because of social media and all these things. So one way I'm taking good care of myself, I'm looking after myself, it's detaching myself from a toxic environment that comes in form of people. Because being in a place where toxicity is thriving can affect you so much, can affect your mental health, can just affect you and drain you. Because when you're in a toxic place, it has a way of draining your energy. It has a way of making you think that nothing is working out for you. So for me, one way I've learned to take care of myself is putting myself in a place where there are more people who are filled with positivity, who are filled with gratitude, who embrace the beauty of life. In surrounding myself with people like that, it has really allowed me to take care of myself. It has really allowed me to appreciate myself more. Because at the end of the day, the people you surround yourself with matters a lot. So I encourage you, if you're around somebody or you're around a cycle of people who are toxic, who are so full of negativity, you have to take care of yourself. Because whether you like it or not, you are a sum total of the people you surround yourself with. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are toxic, if you're surrounding yourself with people who are filled with so much negativity, who never see good in anything that happens to them, it's going to affect you no matter how positive a person you think you are. So one way you can take care of yourself is to separate yourself from people like that and be able to position yourself with people who are more positive. And I encourage you, self-care is not selfish. Taking good care of yourself, it's not self-centeredness, it's not selfish. It's a priority. It's something that we must do. And I tell you, there's nobody that can take care of you more than you. I'll say that again. There is nobody that can take care of you more than you. Yes, your spouse might love you, your friends might love you, people around you might love you, but they cannot take care of you more than you. So it's high time you look after yourself. The same energy you give to people, also give the same energy to yourself. The same grace you give to people, also give the same grace to yourself. Why? Because you are important, you are valuable, and you are loved. So taking good care of yourself should not be an option. It should be a priority. It's not something you have to think about. Should I do it or should I not do it? It's something you have to be invested in. It's something you have to be intentional with, because it takes intentionality to take care of yourself. You have to be intentional about it. It doesn't just happen by magic. It takes intentionality. And that's how we are bringing this awareness, to let you know that taking care of yourself is part of the journey. It's part of the business. It's part of the goal. It's part of the vision, and you should make it a priority. So thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you. I'm going to pass the mic on to my co-hosts so they can share their thoughts on how they are taking care of themselves, even as we bring more persons on stage with us. So, Mr. Eni, you can take it on.
See, and when I saw the topic, I thought, there's a lot we could say, but there's sometimes not a lot. I can be my own worst enemy, in other words, sometimes, because I guess part of self-care, I think for me, is dealing with the worries. Let me put it that way. Yeah, I think in the course of our day, things happen. There's things go wrong, things we have to deal with. Let me probably use those words, right? And I think there was a time when I used to worry about everything. Client hasn't paid me. It must be because I'm terrible. It must be because I made a mistake. It must be my fault somewhere. So even in our personal lives, and I think what was it? My little sister. I think I haven't heard from her for months. Again, I could easily live my life on worrying. Was it something I said? Was it something I did? And I think that just used to make me not feel the best, right? So I've learned to just deal with these things. Just deal with them and make that call and say, right, what's going on? Why haven't you paid me? And I find these days, when you are intentional, as you say, Mr. Z, people tend to do the right thing, right? So suddenly the issue goes away. So I'm getting better at just dealing with the issue as it is, rather than ruining my mental health by worrying and going forwards and backwards and ruminating. Oh, what if? That's one of the big things I do. And I think on the back of that, an extension of that is, I like to live in joy. I like to live genuinely every moment in joy, happiness for any. That's what the world deserves to give me. That's what I deserve, right? So when I do things I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, then I probably won't do it. I'll find another way to get it done, right? But I do love to live in, it's a state of being. It's a state, like I say, it's an extension of where you're worry-free, you're stress-free. You're not beating yourself up about anything. And I think when I can live in joy, I get more done. I get more good things done as well. So those are two simple ones. I will say, I like to have a good nap. Yeah. Again, I don't worry about. Yes, I have the event to run, so I'll be here when the time comes. But if I want to have a quick 20 minutes nap, I will do, and I normally do, right? It has to make it feel refreshed. I can't imagine living in a world where I can't rest when I want to. I saw somewhere yesterday. I think it was my friend Shawn Michael, the coach. I think it made he did a short, basically saying, rest is not a reward. Rest is necessary for maintenance. I think many of us treat rest as if it's, I've earned it. No, we can't do anything without rest, right? Again, back to your points, Mrs. Z. It's funny how people spend most of their time, their money, trying to get well, even though they spend all their time making themselves sick. Literally, right? We work ourselves so hard, we don't rest enough, and then our body says, right, I'm going to have a rest whether you like it or not. And then we spend all our time and money that we make from all that hard work to try and get back to health. I think learning to rest, learning to truly switch off, so whether that's mentally or mentally and physically, I think that's part of the road to happiness and well-being, right? Like I say, we can do more. We're more creative. We have more energy. We can serve more people. With that, I say, I'm learning to rest more. Of course, anyone who knows me well will know that I'm a night owl, so I'm up most of the night anyway. But given that I'm doing what I enjoy doing, given that I will go to sleep when I need to, I don't feel it's not such. It doesn't take a toll on me like it used to. Days gone by, Mrs. Z, I will be up all night and all day. But I try not to do that anymore. And but when I'm awake, I like to feel joy. Yay. And I think it does come down to prioritizing yourself, whatever that means. Whatever that means for you. For me, Yes, no, it does include spending most at least an hour of my day exercising. I'm 51, so I'm not going to run around. I don't do that stuff anymore. But say I think I find exercise that I like doing. Yes, they cause me enough pain, but they also give me the benefits, right? So having a son who's a gym monster means that I mean 16, but it's taught me I don't need to exercise 3 hours a day. I never have to exercise 3 hours a day any day. There was time when I used to do 3 hours a day every couple of days. I didn't lose weight. No, I didn't. I wasn't healthier. I was just in more pain. So now I can literally do 15 minutes, of this pull-ups on the bar. Yes, it's hard work, but at least 15 minutes and I'm done. So I think if I can find a way that you like to exercise, is the thing. But I can find a way to keep healthy through activities, what my friend Lisa would say. That's useful. We don't need to go to the gym. We don't need to run marathons. If that's not you, that's just not necessary, right? Let's say that for sure. Another thing that I'll say I do, which I think is a big part of our stress release, and for maybe also finding joy, is spending time with friends and family. Actually, just literally spending time with people. And I think the bit I want to emphasize here is being present whilst relaxing. Again, there was a time when I used to be thinking of other things, and I'm thinking, the work I've got to do, the work I haven't done yet. Now, again, the worries that go through my head. No. Just learn to just sit down and just be. And as I say, I literally go and sit with my son for no good reason at all. Apart from just to sit there and just have, if we talk, of course we will. Then that's great. Yes, it might be playing this game, but literally, I have nothing in my head apart from just being there, just to relax. And when I get back to work, I'll work. So there's many ways, and I say, of course, eating food you like, Mrs. Z, eating food you like. And I know you don't like pizza, clearly. Neither do I, right? But I love to cook my own food. I love to do what I like doing, right? Now, I think that's probably the theme I want to leave you with today, my friends. Life is about you. Many of us think life is about other people, but it's not. It's about us, right? And however you look at it, whether it's the fact that we can't give to others when we are empty, of course. But I think that we must learn to live in our joy. What makes us happy is the most important thing ever. Sometimes that means spending some money, sometimes it means spending time. So you decide, but whatever makes you happy, you do it. As long as it doesn't upset someone else, right? We could go on all day, my friends. Now, Jamie, please, I'll give the mic to you. Welcome, Cyrus. I do see you, my friend. And maybe we should welcome some people, Jamie, before we'll crack on with your strategies, my friend.
Yeah, let's go ahead and speak of some comments here. We got Arlovine says rest is a key we need in order to be efficient and therefore avoiding wasting the money into the health we have lost while chasing the same money. You're right. Rest is a key need. I get it. I mean, we definitely all need some rest. Rest is what heals the body, right? So very cool. Linda says cooking is part of self-care. I agree.
Especially when you cook what you like.
Yes, that's true. And if you're a good cook, it's even better self-care. If you eat the food you bake, that's my problem. Ken Dunner did have a comment here, and I have to get my breath together to say his comment.
Is he one of Kenny's comments?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Delicious and all that stuff.
Let's pull it up here because I'm gonna try to do it in one breath here.
We'll get to it. Super.
All right. Margaret says, thank you for asking Superstar and Zion. Thanks for being here, Margaret. We appreciate it. And here it is. It covers. It's such a big comment. It covers up our whole screen. Okay. It says Zion. Savor the flavor of the awesomeness in you, for sharing your beautifully well articulated, eloquently stated, heartfelt thoughts that are filled with nuggets of wisdom, kindness, goodness, patience, encouragement, empathy. I feel like he's just pulling out all the words in the encyclopedia here. Understanding, sincerity, perseverance, knowledge, honesty, love, hope, courage, tenacity, awesomeness, caring, positivity, compassion, passion, inspiration, resilience, respect, appreciation, gratitude, enthusiasm, guidance, motivation, support, my friend. Wow. Talk about all the adjectives to describe Zion. Yes. I don't think we left any adjectives on the table. I think
You're
that
a
was
good
everything.
man, Jamie. You actually read all the way through it. Well done to you. I mean that sincerely.
Thank you. So let me talk about what I'm kind of doing to take care of myself, right? Many of you know that, and we'll bring some people on stage after this, but many of you maybe knew, I talked about it a while ago, a year ago, a lot of times I wasn't taking care of myself, right? I was eating whatever I wanted. I wasn't working out. I wasn't taking care of myself, my mental health. And I was just trying to help as many people as possible and getting stressed out with things, right? But a lot has changed since then. A lot has changed since a year ago. And one of the things that I do now is, like I said, when I wake up in the morning is I jot down things I'm grateful for, right? I jot down the things that I'm blessed for, the things that I have in my life. I'll go out every day and I'll take a walk. Now I do go to the gym occasionally, but I'm not like a big gym goer where I'm lifting tons of weights and things like that. I'll go to just get my mind off things, to walk on a treadmill for a little bit, to just kind of clear myself out, right? It makes me feel good knowing that I'm getting steps in and I'm doing things. So I will go for a walk, whether it's outside, whether it's at the gym. I'll do things to keep myself active, my mind active, thinking of different things and planning of how I'm going to attack the day or how I'm going to, what I'm going to do in the next several days. I also take care of myself now by eating better. That doesn't mean that I occasionally don't enjoy pizza or a burger. I mean, I do eat that stuff. I'm not, I don't not do those things, right? But I do eat, better now. I make my own food. I make chicken. Today I have a lunch, where I have broccoli and rice and chicken, and I eat things like that. And but at the same time too, this weekend I will enjoy something. I'll order something with the family, and everything in moderation, right? Where it wasn't like that before. I was eating nothing in moderation. I was eating everything I just wanted to eat, and it affected me, and I gained a lot of weight from it. It kind of was a wake-up call to me, knowing that I have this 5-year-old daughter and I want to be in her life for many years, right? And if I don't change certain things, then it's not going to happen. Maybe something will happen to me because I'm not taking care of myself. So I started treating my body as a temple, and watching what I eat and not eating as much, not eating just to eat. Because that's another thing too. Sometimes we get bored and we don't have things going on. We think that, let's find some food around, right? Let's eat some food. I'm eating more, timely in terms of how I eat and what I eat, right? So all those things have really helped me to take care of myself. Another thing I'm doing is I'm just, I'm moving the stress out of my life, right? I have not been so active on LinkedIn lately as much as I used to be, just because I needed to take a step back. I needed to, be a father, right? Be a better father and just be there for my family and my daughter and focus on the things that are close to me, right? Not that anyone else in here is not important to me, right? But obviously my family is going to come first, and I need to be that father. I need to be a better husband, right? Or boyfriend, I say husband, but, a better partner, I should say, to my significant other, and just really take a step back and really just focus on the things that, that are super important to me. Right. So all those things combined, when you factor all those things in, those are different ways that I've been taking care of myself. I'm going to continue to do those things. Right. But at the same time, too, I'm going to enjoy myself also. Right. I can take care of myself and I can still do things in moderation. I can still have that pizza this weekend. It's been a little bit, right. I can have that. But as long as I maybe cut back on something else, earlier in the day, it's all about that, how we're balancing things. Right. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's a balancing act. Everything's a balancing act in life, right? We're on a tightrope, and we got to balance ourselves left and right. And we got to balance those things of what's important to us to what we have to take care of, and make sure we have that fine line so we don't stress ourselves out and we fall off that balance beam. Right. So that's the best thing I can say. that's what it comes, how it comes to me taking care of myself. And, we definitely do have some people here on stage who are ready to share their thoughts. And I'm going to kick off by introducing them actually, so we can get their thoughts on how they're taking care of themselves. But in a second, let's go ahead and just pull up some more comments here. We got Margaret, who says that Superstar, the new activity, relax and breathe, taking a break from all the noise. I like that. Just relax and breathe, gather your thoughts, right? I really like that. And then Natasha says that says that music and dancing. So I love that. Yes, music and dancing. I love music too. That's part of Jam Sessions with Jamie. My coaching brand is it's a lot of music involved, right? I love music. So that's great. I love hearing that. And then Calm, who we're going to introduce here shortly on stage, gives an acronym breakdown. He calls it the RESTR, R-E-S-T-R. He says R is release, E is exhale and ease, S is surrender and stillness, T is transform and trust, and then the essence is rest is about allowing, letting go of active control and entering stillness so that the body, mind, and spirit can recalibrate naturally. Passive renewal, the soil lying follow, the phone on standby. Yes. Take your tech out of the way. I like that. The soul inhaling silence. Spiritual metaphor. Rest is the yin principle, receptive, restorative, and inward facing. It allows life force to reorganize itself. Wow. A lot to take in there. Calm, thank you for sharing that. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you first to maybe you can share more about that and tell us what you're doing to take care of yourself. So Calm, and thank you, Margaret, for supporting me, saying 100, Jamie. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead. There's Ken again. Wait, hold on. Pull up Ken's comment again. Let's see what he says. He's nibbling on his delectable, scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasting good homemade sweet potato cheesecake. Well, cheesecake sounds good. I don't know so much about sweet potato cheesecake. That seems like too many contrasting tastes right there. But hey, if you enjoy Kenneth, I'm sure it's got to be good. So
I enjoy Kenny's cheesecakes too. I have to say, Kenny gave me the recipe. So we did make this.
Yeah, I'm more for traditional cheesecake. I don't know about sweet potato cheesecake, but I'm sure that's good too. So, Calm. Let's go ahead and come on stage, unmute your mic, and tell us what you're doing to take care of yourself and how you want to contribute to today's topic.
Hey, how you doing, Jamie? I hope you're well. It sounds like you're well and on top of your game. Excellent. Cyrus, how you doing? Mr. Phenomenal. Zion, how you doing? I hope you're doing great. No, I think you're doing greater than I am, which is awesome. Annie, as usual, you're on top of the world. Hey, that's much better than being under it, that's for sure. I tell you what. I've never been under it, so close, but not. Nah, not. I think I ran. I dug myself out. I dug myself out for sure. And that's what topic of the day in self-care. Self-care. There was a time when I worked. I worked a lot. I used to think that I wanted more money, and I figured that getting more money means working harder and extremely hard. So what I did was I put in the hours. I put in a lot of hours, 20 hours, for about 3-4 months, and I would be doing this, consecutively, day after day after day, getting rest here and there, and that just blew my top. It physically drained me. I was psychologically impaired. Um, it, I literally, I created a humongous problem for myself, which I am still dealing with today, which is about, you can say it's about 11, maybe 13 years later. I'm still dealing with it, and I've not completely and utterly healed from it at all. I'm still working on it, but doing the things that Zion has indicated, and also doing the things that Annie has indicated, and also doing the things that Jamie has indicated. Lots of rest, priority on rest, priority on exercising, and priority on making sure as I exercise or as I finish exercises, I also prioritize recovery. I have to make sure I recover well. Biggest part of recovery is eating the correct food. so that your body can consume and put it to work in areas that it needs to work in. And when you rest, is making sure that your hospital kicks in, because that's when your hospital, your body's internal hospital kicks in, is when you're asleep. Um, 8 hours rest, just like they indicated, but if you could do a little bit more, that's great. If you do just a little bit less, that's okay. But certainly make sure you get that rest, that sleep in. And if you're not feeling good and you just want to, stay in and rest, then do that, because really resting at times is is a recovery, and it's also a healing mode, and it's also means that your body needs it. So you got to think about your body. What do you really need? I need to rest. Don't rest too much, because you can hurt yourself if you actually do that too. Um, as a friend of mine was telling me, he slept for 4 days co- consecutively, and on the fourth day he had to drag himself out of bed, literally. So, which means that his muscles were atrophying. He's not, you know, his body was breaking down in such a manner that if he did not continue to get up and work out, uh, he would be in big trouble. So, your body, like we all know, is made to work. It's made to work. You get up, you go out, and you exercise, and you do things. You even use your mind, etc., etc. You put good food in it. It rewards you. Your body rewards you when you put good food in it. You sleep well, your body rewards you, because it allows you to get up in the morning and recover. It recovers as you sleep, and it allows you to get up in the morning and be able to accomplish the task that you want to accomplish for that day. Program yourself in terms of self-care. Program your day. Program your week. Take care of these things so that you know what you're doing next and what's coming up next. Take care of your program. Take care of the environment that you're in, just like Zion said. A toxic environment will make you start doing toxic things. You start to adapt other people's habits, because that's who we are. We actually do that. We see somebody doing this, we think that it's okay, and we just follow suit and continue and not think about how we're going to affect our own bodies. If we don't do that, then what happens inevitably is your body crashes and tells you, you know what, just like Annie said, I got to take a break. You know what? And I'm not gonna, this is my final warning to you. And if you don't take a break, then we're gonna have to start switching things off in your system. And your brain, it's automatically does it. Just start switching things off. Even your muscles, your muscle spasms and so on, they start going off on their own. You have no control over these things. All of a sudden you're just like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. And that's when you have a wake up call. But it's because you're not listening to your body. Take time to sit down and listen to your body. Literally listen to your body. Breathing habits. Make sure you breathe as you exercise, and you breathe well, correctly, so that as you're exercising, you use your breath to help recover your body. Your body can do more work if you breathe correctly and use the oxygen. You balance the oxygen versus the work that you're doing. You do not have to rush into things. All what you're trying to do is to make sure that your muscles are working, your joints are working, your bones are aligned. Make sure that these things are working just right and fine. You do not have to be Superman. No, you do not. You know, what you actually just need is to be able to function the next day, or for the work that you're going to do to function properly, or whatever you're going to do next, to play with your kids, etc., etc. That's all you need to be able to do. Your kids don't need that much power when you go out to play with them. They do not. You don't have to exert yourself to a point where, you're dying out there in the field. You do not need to do that. You allow your body to recover so that it can grow in strength. And if you need to put more input into it, adjust incrementally and allow your body to recover and know, okay, I need to create more muscle for this. I need to do that because he wants to be doing this. Your body and your mind need to be aligned aligned in their capabilities. I used to be an athlete, a soccer player, first team in England. Now I can't even kick a ball. I have no idea how to do it. And I have no idea how to run. These are things I am now having to relearn. How do I run? How do I walk? How do I bend over? How do I do these things? When you get older, these things get a lot more difficult. And trust me when I say they get a lot more difficult. I'm looking at my body, which seems to have aged about 20 years from its current position. I'm 51. I feel like I'm 75 or 78. So there are 78 years old out there who are able to play soccer, who are able to dance, who are able to enjoy life like I used to when I was 20. I can't do that. So what's wrong with me? I screwed up. I screwed up listening to my body and taking care of my body during that short period of 4 months, 3 to 4 months. That's all it took. It didn't take long, and now I'm paying for it. It's taken me what, 13 years to get to the stage that I'm on right now. 13 years, and I've not fully recovered. I have not. Oh. So the consequences are stark. The worst consequence is you could be 6 feet under, buried, and gone without having done a thing. In this world, your works count. What did you work on? What did you leave behind? What is your legacy? If you are dead and buried because you did not take care of your body, you're not going to be working on anything. If you are not healthy, you are not going to be working on anything. It's your number one thing in this world. And I tell you this, the number one thing in the world is for you to maintain your health. Why? Because you are no good to anybody if your health is not up at its optimum peak. You're no good to anybody if your health is not at its optimum peak. And that's very important to understand. It's the number one thing in your life. If there's anything else that you can that you that's the most important thing that you can do for yourself is to maintain your health. Be free. We need to be free as humans. That is our priority in order to be able to make the universe a better place. You know, all those things are goals. So I'll leave you with my mantra. I offer the best from the best by the best. If you try to embolden that into your system, try to embrace it and become it, the only thing you want to do is the best. And that's it, period. That means the best of everything that the earth has to offer, the best of everything that your body has to offer, the best of everything that your mind has to offer. You'll be on top of your game if you think like that, if you walk like that, if you talk like that. Take a look at Zion. He's the best of the best from the best. Take a look at him. You can see how look. I'm very impressed with what he's been able to do with that mindset. What he's been able to change in his life because of that mindset. Change is the most fundamental thing in this universe. You must always be changing. And if you're seeking the best, you'll always change. There's that's guaranteed. You'll always change in order to match the best. Not even match it, because even once you think you've matched it, there's actually something better. Heaven is not a limit. The best is not the limit. You have to go beyond the best. Beyond it. Think about that. Anyway, I'll leave it to you guys. And really enjoy it. Cyrus, Jamie, I give the mic back to you. Thank you very much for allowing me to have my say. I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much, Calm. I mean, you gave a lot of good information in there, and I loved you talking about the optimum health thing, right? I mean, I wouldn't say peak health, right? But I mean, you want to be in the best health you think you can be in, right? I mean, I think that's so important is to, when I look at back a year ago to how I was, I mean, I went through a big weight loss change. I started noticing it in my face and my body and the way I started doing things and being able to do more and spend, play more with my daughter and not being winded and things like that, right? It's so much changed. And I started noticing it. And it was something where I was like, you know what? This is a great feeling. I want to keep it going. So when you start seeing those things and that the positive changes happening to yourself, you want to keep those things going and you realize how important it is. So thanks again, Calm, for all your opinions and your thoughts on today's topic. Definitely appreciate it. And you really kicked
Yeah.
this off the right way. Thank you.
I really like your input too, because those things that you mentioned, those are the best things in your life, all those things you've indicated, those are the best things in your life, and you're pursuing it. So continue, please.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. All right, let's keep the conversation going here. We got our next speaker up here is going to be Cyrus, I believe. I can't see past the comment, but I believe that is who's next, right? Yep, we got Cyrus, and then we'll give it to Zion to introduce our next two couple speakers as well. So, but before we even do that, let me see. I see Spencer said a comment on here. He said, to take care of myself, I like to invite a friend for a cup of tea or play a game of pickleball with my club team. Yes, I have yet to really get into pickleball. I actually have pickleball rackets, and I've never played it really. I have been hearing things about pickleball, that the amount of eye injuries have been happening in pickleball. I don't know if that's just chance, but
What's pickleball? What is pickleball? I never heard of it.
it's kind of like a modified, well, I don't want to say a modified version of tennis, but it is kind of like that, where you have two rackets and you have the ball. But it's a different, it's a kind of a harder ball, and the racket's about like this. It's like this big, so it's not the full size of a tennis racket, right? So it's kind of like hitting it over a net. It's a smaller net, and it's back and forth, and it's pretty popular. Look up videos on it. It's definitely a thing that's getting more and more bigger as the years go on. And there's even pickleball clubs and places where you can do pickleball. It's becoming a big thing. So, yeah, so that's pretty much how that works. And, Ivan Spencer, I don't know if I've seen you in here, but good to see you in here. I'm glad you're here. And then Jeremy says he's listening in. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. And Kenneth says, you finally showed up, homeboy. Yes, finally showed up. There you go. Kenneth telling like it is. And Roxana says, I keep falling off. I'm driving. Well, look, be safe. First off, as much as we want you to be on this call, and we appreciate your dedication to being on while you're driving, put the audio on only. Don't worry about seeing our smiling faces. Just do audio. Okay. So there we go. So let's go ahead and bring it over to Cyrus, the Whisper Boy himself. Go ahead and unmute your mic and share your thoughts on today's topic. Cyrus, are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
All
Can
right.
you hear me, guys?
How are you?
Hi. I feel great. Feeling great. Thank you so much. How are you today, Jamie? Okay.
Doing great. Thanks so much, my man.
Good to hear. So, hi everybody. Zion, Annie, Calm, and Jamie, and the rest of the amazing people in our group tonight. Do we have Arlewin on the stage as well?
Not currently. Not
Coach.
currently.
Yeah, we got Coach David. Sorry. Yeah, we got Coach David. Good afternoon to you as well, Coach. From Wrexham, United Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. Regarding taking care of yourself, there's something that one of our friends said in one of the earlier shows today. Was it Sean? I think. Yeah. He's a great philosopher. This guy. He said there's a lot of successful people. It's like they're running away from something. If I'm not mistaken, Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said something along them lines that made me think. It made me think. People are mostly running away from not necessarily problems. People run away from
undesirable outcomes, and that's why they feel anxiety, because they want to control the outcome, something that hasn't happened in the future yet, and basically that is something that causes a great deal of stress for people. People run away from an outcome that they do not want. Who wants to get ill? Nobody. Nobody wants to get ill. And people who get ill, they want to get back into that healthy state that they used to be, and they love and miss. An example that Calm just provided a few moments ago.
I want to get ill. That's kind of like a rap thing.
Mm.
Being ill. I think it's a shortcut from chill. Instead of saying the chill, you have to say you're ill.
Ah, got you. Got you. So, so basically, people run away from one undesirable outcome, right? And they try to find themselves in a more kind of calm and familiar space, not knowing that the next one, because they haven't gone into that space with enough studies and enough preparation, they're going to find themselves in the next undesirable outcome again. So as an example, how many people know someone who keeps going from one abusive relationship to the next? And it makes you think, oh, this person, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 years ago, they were with another abusive partner. What happened? So so they keep repeating those mistakes. So if you do it once, obviously everyone's fallible. Anyone can make a mistake, right? If it's once, it's a mistake, yes. But if it's twice, that tells me you've made a decision. If you make it 3 times, that's a habit, honestly. And if you make it 4 times, that's you. That's me. That's our character, right? So running away from a problem and an undesirable outcome is not necessarily growth. Some people say, "Oh, I am working on myself by running away from the problems." They just keep posting stuff on social media from different moments of their life, saying, "I am working on myself. I am working on my peace. I am appreciative of my peace." But in reality, they're running from one problem to the next. And if you stop a relationship and start going to the gym, and you keep yourself kind of engrossed in gym work, is that growth or is that avoidance? Because peace that depends on distance isn't peace, it's just avoidance, right? So you're avoiding the problem, so you have to face it. Unless you face a problem, you can never resolve that problem. If there is a fly in my room and I catch the fly, put it under an upside down glass, do I still have that problem? Well, yes and no. I don't have the problem because it's not flying in my space, but have I got peace of mind regarding it? No. As soon as I remove that glass, that fly is going to start flying again. So if you resolve an issue, it needs to be a permanent solution, and that needs something that needs to be studied. It shouldn't be and can't be something random, because it's going to come back around and bite you in the backside again. So starting a relationship, starting a relationship, not because your business has suffered or failed, is a good relationship. Don't start a relationship because your business has failed to find solace and find comfort in the presence of another human being. The business needs attention, right? So you need to go back to your business. Don't start something new until you've resolved that issue. Don't stop going to the gym because you started a relationship, right? Balance is key. Do things for the sake of doing those things, not because you want to avoid something else, because the problem remains the same. And most of the things that we suffer with is because of an image we're trying to maintain. So I want to maintain this image of a podcaster, and you want to maintain that image of the author, and anything else that isn't congruent with those images, we push them outside. But at what cost? We need to ask ourselves, right? And maintaining that image is not more important than your own mental health. So you adopt roles in life. So in this society, we are given, or we pick roles. Some people are priests, some people are podcasters, some people are presidents, some people are CEOs. Those are roles. When you go back home, you are you again. It's like you take your clothes off, right? And wash yourself from all of those, all of the discomfort of those roles. Those roles cost our mental health. So please remember, you are more important, and your mental health is more important than the role that the society has given you or the role that you have picked up yourself. So balance is key, and avoidance is not solution. Thank you, guys.
Cyrus, well said. Balance is key. I love hearing that. And thank you so much for your patience as we bring you up on stage. A lot of good information there. A lot of good thoughts from everybody so far. And it's always a pleasure having you come up here and sharing your thoughts. So
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, balance is key. You're right. I talked about that when I was talking about things, right? You got to have that balance in your life. You know, you can't just put it all towards one thing and stress about certain things. You got to have that balance between everything you do. And then, you know, that's how you keep your machine well oiled, right? So lots of good information there. So I'm going to pass it over to Eni so he can introduce the next two people. He'll read some of the comments here also, and then we'll bring up our next couple of speakers here. So Eni, go ahead, my friend.
Thank you so much. And I love to share, Michael. You paint a picture that only you can paint, my friend. Very deep. And I think we get the idea of the importance of self-care when you describe the consequences of, even if we just relax or ignore our bodies for a while. There's a saying, your body never lies, right? Your body never lies. So we do need to learn to listen. So you make me laugh when you said you got a body of a 75-year-old. See, when I was younger, this is how I know I'm old. There was a time when I was younger, and I used to hate getting up on ladders. Right, when you're decorating, I did a lot of building work when I was younger, right? So going up on a ladder hurts. You're like, damn, that really hurts, right? I'm getting old. But you didn't mind doing things on ground, I'm bending down. Now, Michael, I don't like bending down. I don't like going up on ladders. Everything hurts. That's how I know I'm old. That I am old. But that's life, right? We need to learn from your lessons, my friend. Spencer says
75 because you are you're the same age as I, right?
Yeah.
51.
But when I'm decorating these, I feel like about 110. Never mind 75. Because everything hurts, right?
Okay, yeah, I get you.
I tell you. Spencer says meeting with you and Zion again is exactly what I need to recharge. I'm off to play paddle now. So there you go. I'll paddle tomorrow, not right now. Thank you so much, Spencer. So Luz, I see you. So Luz all the way in Netherlands. Glad you're here. I was talking about you earlier, Luz. What's her name? Maria Simonetti, I think, in our Book to Business room earlier. She's in the Netherlands as well. So we are working on some scheme to come to Netherlands with our mission and our mission to spread positivity and to also give our friends a voice, right, in person. That's the difference. Kenny's been good this time. So I don't like being ill. I haven't been ill in ages. Let's keep it that way, Super Kenny. Keep it that way, right? Nibble on my delectable list of Kenny. I'm not as good as Jamie, right? I'm gonna nibble on my delectably, scrumptiously, deliciously, edible, tasty, good homemade sweet potato cheesecake, and you never get ill. It's true, Kenny. Like Kenny's been in the same job for the last 65 years. He really has. Same role, quite happy doing what he does. He obviously doesn't get ill that often. Linda, thank you so much. I'm grateful that I left a very toxic workplace I said for the wrong reasons, but realized later on that my mental and emotional health mattered so much more than my paycheck. Sometimes, Linda, many of us realize it's far too late, right? You know, we think we want stability, we want continuity, even though we know that a place is not necessarily good for us. It's never too late to pivot and to reinvent ourselves and to do what brings us the most happiness. Never give up. So true. I think the most important thing I think for now, I mentioned it when I spoke earlier. Now, finding your joy, being able to live our day in peace. And literally, they say rest in peace. We can also live in peace. You really can. We have to, right? Otherwise, you will end up resting in peace. Live the peace now. I think that's so. I can find living our joy is just so important. And Spencer said I had a flu jab recently, and the very next day I was struck down with a very nasty side effect. I'm not sure I'll be getting another one next year. COVID-19 is still making the rounds, it seems. So, again, listen to your body, my friends. We have to, right? Hello, for me, welcome. So balance is key. It's a hard one. I wonder what you think, Mr. Z. Balance is a hard concept. Balance, so just 50-50. I think, prioritizing ourselves, I think, is necessary. Balance is a hard thing for us to find. I'm sure my friend Lillian agrees. She's a mental health wellness expert as well. Lillian, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while, my sister. Where have you been? But you're back, right? You're back. That's a good thing. Welcome. So glad you're here. Okay, let's go to Coach David. Coach, thank you for being patient, my friend. Please share with us the importance of how we take care of ourselves. Coach, you're still muted. 3, 2, 1. Coach, are you still there? Oh no, we've lost Coach David. Hopefully he'll
put me in, Coach.
Coach, what's happened? Wake up! Wait, I'm sure you're not sleeping. You might have left his device or his computer for a second. So Kenny says, I'm currently employed in my job for over 37 and a half years now. Savor the flavor of the awesomeness in that. That's why Kenny's got a whole list of these sayings written down, right? They're tapped out already. Just copy and paste is what Kenny does. But it's all right now. We enjoy your use of words, Kenny. So it's all good. Coach, have we lost you really? That's such a shame.
I'm here.
Oh, Coach! Yay! We found you. Please, I'm glad you're back. Please do share with us.
Coach, I thought Manchester United has kidnapped you.
I'm here.
The mic is yours, my friend.
Yeah, the method bleeds a little bit. Well, in this world, what is constant is there will be pressure, there will be stress. In this world, there will be several moments when things don't turn out the way we want. At the end of the day, nobody can add a cubic to his or stature by worry. You can't, by any form of worry or pressure, solve a pressure problem. For you to decompress, you've got to be at a higher or stronger level in your mind if you want to decompress or you want to, at least solve a problem and place your name behind that problem as the one who solved it. You have to be able to be detached enough to observe it without any judgment, and also to embrace who you are enough, but you also don't lose your identity. Those are the two major extremes you want to play about. But at the end of the day, all the aces are in your hand. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Of course, in keeping with our positivity topic, this is within our control. That's the important thing. Many people suffer stress when when we believe that we're not in control of anything. Now other things control us. And so that can be quite scary. But I think I like your point. Stress is when we choose to worry about things that don't necessarily go the way we want them to go. That's just life. Jamie, I think, is it Jamie said it? Who said it? Oh, no, I don't know if that was Jamie or Cyrus. That life's about change. When we calm, life is about change. We have to learn to embrace and just face up to our reality. I said earlier, deal with the issue. Deal with what is good. We can't just be boring.
I'll take the change comment. I'll own up to that one.
Yeah, it might have been you, my friend. I'm sure it was you. And so, I also like the idea of decompressing, Coach. We actually need to spend some time letting go, just being. How many times do we let ourselves literally think nothing, do nothing, and just enjoy the moment? That's decompressing, right? Of course, there's other ways that you can decompress by talking to a therapist, by sharing some of your pain. I'll say, but now deep down, saying, I think Jamie mentioned practicing gratitude every day, for example. That's a good way to decompress. Some of us here meditate every day. That's just you and peaceful time with you and God, if you want to call it that, right? So I think we need to learn to just give ourselves those times in the day, those moments where we just are. Yes, the world might flip upside down afterwards, but it's fine. Until then, I'm just going to concentrate on me and now, and no worries, no thoughts in my head, just a piece of myself. If I could leave us with one thing, it'd probably be that. Find your peace, my friends. So even when there are people on your case, and there's going to be people on your case all day, every day. Don't get me wrong. Before we came on the show, Jamie and I and Mr. Z were talking about how people like to put on you their problems, their issues, their stresses, their character or lack of character, as you call them, Mr. Cyrus. Literally, let's not take those. If it's not your problem, don't carry someone else's baggage, right? What you're going to get is a heavy rucksack of stresses that are not yours. And they could well break your shoulder. Don't do that. Let it go. Deal with your issues and let others deal with theirs. Sometimes just say, no, thanks, I don't want it. And I think we'll find a lot of peace from that, from just saying and just being that way. But thank you so much, everyone. Paulette, we'll see you now. Now you're here, I'm at peace. When Paulette's in the room, our world's back to normal, right? Welcome, Paulette. So we're great to have you here. So keep the faith and trust God, and to then let Him lead you. Let go of what you cannot control. Now be wise. Paulette, you have a point. I think this is where spirituality, having faith in something, comes in. I say it's easy to try and be all knowing, all doing. I think, when you look at people who are, whether they're religious or not, I think spirituality, believing in a greater power than you can tend to give you peace of mind. That's one of the benefits. But still, thank you so much, Paulette, for sharing. I say we appreciate you that you join us beginning, middle, or end of our shows. If anyone who's joining us late in the day, so with Team Replay, so do watch the show, and of course, do connect with people here, connect with each other, connect with Jamie, connect with us on stage, right? Anyway, I'll stop talking now. Mr. Z, I'll let you close the show out. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eni. Thank you, Jimmy, Coach David, Cam, and Cyrus. And Dr. Professor Rosanna, yes, she was here earlier, but she said she was driving, so she couldn't speak. And everyone in the comment section, I tell you, it's been a wonderful conversation so far. If you are just joining us, you can go back and watch the replay. So much nugget was shared, and so much personal experiences that we all can resonate with was shared. And one thing that you can take home, it's, self-care is a choice. You have to choose. You have to choose self-care. It is very, very important. It's a choice you have to keep making every day to look after yourself. And also you can keep the balance. So as much as you are busy or you can do things, there is need for us to keep the balance, which is very, very important. This whole conversation is just a reminder and to bring an awareness to let us know that even as you're getting busy, as you have a lot of things to do, you have a lot of plans, just make sure that your self-care is part of it. Make sure you are looking after yourself, because when it's done from a place of good health, I tell you can do so much more. You can be unstoppable. You can do great things far more than you can imagine. So let's place priority of taking good care of ourselves, because you are important. You are valued. You are part of the mission. You are part of the dream. You are part of the goal. And making it a priority is something that we should not take for granted. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined live, and for those who have been watching the replay, welcome. Feel free to share, feel free to tag somebody, and feel free to invite somebody and say you need to watch this, just to remind them of the need for them to embrace the self-care, which is very, very important. Next week is another time, and it happens to be the last Friday of the month of October. And you know what we do every last Friday? Our gratitude experience. So next week Friday is our gratitude experience, where we are coming to be intentional about gratitude and share with the world the things that we are grateful for in the month of October. A lot might have happened during the course of the year, during the course of the month. Every last Friday, we say we are taking a pause to embrace gratitude, to count our blessings, and just to share and inspire people the need for us to be grateful. It's all about spreading positivity to every corners of the earth, one person at a time, because we believe that in positivity, there's always endless possibilities. If there's anyone in the comment section you're not connected with, please feel free, reach out to them, connect with them, start a conversation, because a whole lot can happen by just a simple conversation. With that being said, we want to say have a great weekend until we see you again next week. Friday,
You might kill Kenny. You might cause Kenny to have a heart attack. Jamie, come on now, answer his question. I can't love
I
my
knew you were
favorite.
leaving that question up
All
for a little bit. I was eating chicken and broccoli and some barbecue sauce with that. So there we go. So that's what I was eating.
There you go, Kenny.
I was
there
hungry.
You go.
And
thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
Kenneth,
you made Kenny's day.
Yeah, Kenneth just sent me a message on LinkedIn showing me a picture of his sweet potato pie cheesecake. So it looks pretty good. He's a great cook. I know he makes a lot of the stuff himself. So it looks pretty good, Kenneth. Thanks for sharing that and making me hungry. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Again, of course, Rosemary, we do want to welcome you as well. Thank you for joining us. Self-care is very important, and the gratitude experience is a show not to be missed. I agree. I don't know, Spencer. Some questions I don't know whether we have an answer for. We might do. If you were to become disabled, how would you overcome difficulty of self-care, which can be incredibly complex? Normally this sort of questions stump me, right? But I guess for all this while, Spencer, I can imagine the loss of abilities can be hugely distressing. But maybe it's not loss of abilities. Maybe it's having different abilities, right? That's my thinking is simply, what can you do? I have to look at myself and say, what can I do to help what can I do to care for myself more, right? And then what do I need help with? And where can I get the help I need? So it's a complex question, of course it is, but I think all we can do is do the best we can in terms of what we can do physically. I don't think many of the things we talked about, the psychological things, the emotional things, are beyond a person with disability's reach. But maybe somewhere we must find healing to come to terms with our circumstance and our situation. That's the best I can say. Jamie, do you have any idea, any response for Spencer?
I don't, honestly. I guess I haven't really thought about this. You're right. It can happen to anybody anytime. And, I would hope my partner would help take care of me too, obviously. And my daughter help where she can, but, how I would take care of myself. I don't really thought about that. You're right. It's scary to think though, because we're all just one little thing away from, possibly changing our life. And I feel like we do have to be prepared and think about that. So Spencer, I think you gave me a good question to think about, after this call.
Yeah. And I like how you say, Jamie, we're literally one trip away, from banging our head and having a TBI. I say we're one car accident away, something happened on the streets I wouldn't expect, I didn't want, and suddenly we're now having a condition, a disability, an issue that we would never imagined. You see, there's a part of me thinks, Mrs. E, if you want to add to it, please feel free. Right? So
yes, I wanted to add something to that.
Go for it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Spencer, for the great question talking about being disabled. And to be honest, when you are in that place, there are so many things you cannot do for yourself. And that's the more reason why what you cannot do for yourself, you can allow people to do it for you. Having people around you to help you, to support you. For me, it goes a long way when you find yourself in situations like this. Because at the end of the day, even as we talk about self-care, not everything we can actually do by ourselves. Right. So we will need somebody to help us do certain things. You need somebody. So in this scenario, you are going to rely more on people helping you do things compared to when you are not disabled. So my advice is find people who love you genuinely, who want to support you, who want to help you, and allow them to help you, to embrace self-care. Allow them to help you to do the things you're supposed to do in the process of self-care. Not forget, we said self-care is a choice. It's a choice you have to make. Then other people help you complement it. So they don't make the choice of self-care for you. So it doesn't matter whether you're disabled or not. It's a choice you have to make first in your mind to say, you know what? I need to embrace self-care. So in making the choice, then other people come in to complement you and to help you achieve your goal. So that's my response for that. I hope that helps you.
I like that. I like that. See, I think the temptation is to for me anyway, to always think if someone has a health issue, maybe we can't. Maybe we can say to them, don't dream as big, don't be as positive, because I think that is just barking up the wrong tree, right? Like I like what you said, Mrs. Z. It still starts. We see whoever you are. We still have to prioritize our self-care. For people with disabilities, Spencer, it must be a case of finding how can we do it? How can we live the life of joy that we deserve to live? How can we, do what to have control over our lives and find the joy and do all the things we talked about, healthy eating, exercising, having good relationships, and trying to live stress-free. But we must. I don't think any of us here is going to say, because you have a disability, then you're doomed. That can't be the case, right? That's how I think. Thankfully, we will agree. We must find a way forward. Look, thank you so much, everyone. Do enjoy your weekend. I'm off to Milton Keynes. Don't ask. I'll tell you about it next week, right? But I'm off to Milton Keynes, so I'm taking my baby with me, so I should be able to join next week, I hope. But thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. So do enjoy your weekend, and then of course. Celebrate it with or without champagne or rum, but she's success with global.media.com.